They keep calling it the mind-body problem when the problem is it's the spirit body versus the physical body. It is the energetic body versus the physical body. It is the soul body versus the physical body. It is not is the feminine body, which is your spirit body, versus the masculine body. They keep calling it the mind-body problem, but it's like it's not a mind. It's you have an entire spirit body inside of you that you just can't see, touch, or feel. Hello, and welcome back to Bri Speaks podcast. I am your host, Bri Speaks, who created the 7 narcissistic social hierarchies of control, which are patriarchy, capitalism, corporatism, racism, ableism/ageism, speciesism, and Abrahamic religions. Those are the 7 pillars that control our minds. When I talk about narcissism here on this channel, I am not talking about narcissism as in NPD, the way they describe it in the diagnostic manual and statistics of like mental health illnesses. I'm talking about it as a framework, as a concept, as a pattern, as a group of behaviors that to work together to have the same goal, which is to enact control over the human being, over life, and not even just the human, because where people are narcissistic towards animals, you can be a mom being narcissistic towards your child, you can be a man being narcissistic towards your wife, you can be a government being narcissistic towards your population. Like the concept of hierarchy, of putting oneself or one's system above people or persons, that is narcissism, because the world that we are supposed to live in is one of wholeness, of equality, of equity, of everyone being of the same exact importance and everyone having the same exact amount of power as everyone else, and everyone being considered in the same way, and the decisions that are made. Once you have the problem with hierarchy, and we're going into the mind-body problem in a second, but the problem with hierarchy is that it creates different incentives, not only incentives, but different wants and needs. But whenever everyone is on the same level, we can then make decisions that go towards life. Like life is the goal. Like, does this law or policy help life? Yes. Good law policy. No, bad law policy. But when you have hierarchies, you have some decisions that'll be good for some people's lives, and then you have policies that'll be bad for other people's lives. And that's because we have grouped people into separate groups, and now those groups have different interests. But when you put everyone together again as one whole, all of a sudden everyone has the same interest. It's not what'll help white people, what'll help black people, what'll help men, what'll help women. It'll be what'll help people, what'll help life, not what'll help the billionaires, what'll help the poor, what'll help the middle class, what'll help. Like, whenever you make everyone's interests different, then there's conflict. But when everyone's interests are the same, what will help humans, what will help the world, what will help everyone? Wow, look at there, conflict resolved. I've solved the world's problems, as I will likely test today. And today, you could put this under religion if you want to, but I'm going into what I have learned is the mind-body problem. So what is the mind-body problem? It is one of the ultimate, people call it the holy grail of philosophical and cognitive science problems. And this has been apparently like a 400-year debate. And I'm just sitting here on my YouTube channel, which has all this good information, but I'm a small YouTuber because I just got started, so no one listens to me. But here, you guys, if you're here, welcome. You will have the answer to it says a 400-year-old problem, but guess what's been happening for the last 400 years? Patriarchy and capitalism and racism. Well, not racism. Racism is relatively newer. Well, it's about 400 years old, actually. So all of the isms that I talk about, all of the narcissistic social hierarchies, those are when this mind-body problem evolved. But before that, there was never a question of duality, of spirit and body, of physical and a physical versus the spirit. The reason why they did the mummies the way they did, because they believed in your spirit. Like, there's just so many indigenous cultures of the global majority for humans who have been here for 300,000 years before the last 400. So for the last 10,000 years, they've been throwing stuff off. They've been trying to delete the entire spirit realm from existence and say, oh no, the only thing that exists are the things you can see, touch, and feel here in the 3D. Everything else it doesn't exist, which is just like, so we're just going to throw away 300,000 years of human existence and knowledge. The people who didn't have technology, they didn't have technology, so they're dumb. But no, they didn't have technology. So guess what? They looked at the moon and the stars every single day. They were in touch with nature. They were in touch with their bodies. They knew exactly what things were and how they worked in nature and in reality. And that's how they lived their lives, in accordance to the patterns of the universe and not in accordance to what their technology told them, because they didn't have the technology. So you would think that the fact that people think that people in prehistoric times, I don't even like calling it prehistoric times, because that deletes the significance of the people who lived during like prehistory. Like, all of it is history. Why is some of it prehistory and then some of it is regular history? Like, no, it's all history. And it's narcissistic to say that, oh, the history that came before 10,000 years ago, before we started writing shit down, that doesn't count. That doesn't matter. All of the culture, all of the food, all of the community, all of the ways of life that happened all the way up until 10,000 years ago, that created all the people that needed to be created and lived until 10,000 years ago. All those people, they don't matter. All those people, they don't count. All those people, 290,000 years of human existence, just sweep it under the rug of prehistoric knowledge, and so we don't want to look at it. That sounds evil to me. That sounds evil to me. Sounds narcissistic. That's what a narcissist does. Tells you don't look at the past. That doesn't matter. Just look at me and you right now, here in the present. Yeah, that past that shows every single thing that ever happened in patterns of behavior, including how I used to treat you. Don't even think about it. Don't worry about it. That's made up. Anyway, so let me give you a good definition. The mind-body problem is one of the oldest and most famous puzzles in philosophy and psychology. At its core, it asks a deceptively simple question: what is the relationship between the conscious mind, your thoughts, feelings, and experiences, and the physical body, your brain, neurons, and flesh? It arises because the mind and the body seem to be made of two completely different types of stuff that operate under entirely different rules. That's wrong, which we'll talk about it. So it says, to see why this is such a puzzle, look at how starkly different the physical world is from your mental world. In the physical body, the brain, anyone can see it, right? A surgeon can open your skull and look into your brain tissue, but the conscious mind, the experience of your brain, it is private. It is entirely subjective, and no one else can directly see, feel, or experience your thoughts. That's wrong. That's wrong. Measurable. For the physical body, it has weight, size, location, and runs on a measurable electrical impulses, while the immaterial of your conscious mind, your thoughts, don't weigh anything, they don't take up physical space, and they don't have a color. Okay, let's keep going. And so for the physical body, the objective is that it operates strictly under the physical laws of nature, gravity, chemistry, and biology, while the conscious mind is more intention centered. Your mind can think about things. It can contemplate the future, remember the past, or imagine a dragon, but it doesn't operate under physical laws like gravity or chemistry, even though you can experience your thoughts. And so it says the headache for philosophers and scientists isn't just that they are different, it's that they clearly interact with each other perfectly every second, and we don't fully know how. I know how. We'll talk about it. Mind moves the body. If you have the purely mental, immaterial thought of I want coffee, your physical arm magically moves across the table to pick up the mug. Speaking of mugs, if you would like your own Bri Speaks mug that has the 7 narcissistic social hierarchies of control, which narcissism again is it's the external to the internal. If you're new here, everything you know that everything works in a polarity, a positive and a negative. If you have a battery, it has a positive end, the end that is external, it sticks out, and then you have a negative end, the end that is flat or internal that you really can't see. That is how your body works. Your body has a positive manifestation, which is the part you can see, touch, and feel, the measurable part. And this is called the masculine end of your body. And then you have a negative spirit body, which is a part of the problem. Is they keep calling it the mind body problem, when the problem is it's the spirit body versus the physical body. It is the energetic body versus the physical body. It is the soul body versus the physical body. It is the feminine body, which is your spirit body, versus the masculine body. They keep calling it the mind body problem, but it's not a mind. It's you have an entire an entire spirit body inside of you that you just can't see, touch, or feel, which you can. Well, you can feel it, that you can't see, that you can't see and measure in the way that the masculine, the external, right, and another correlation, right, the masculine version of the human body has an external genitalia, right, and the feminine version of the physical body, it has the internal, has a lady part, right, and so it's just like that polarity of masculine and feminine energy shows up literally everywhere across in plants. Like, you got masculine plants and then you got feminine plants, like the fruit bearing plants are feminine, and then the pollen seed, like pollen spreading plants, are masculine. Like, you have this masculine and feminine polarity literally showing up in the physical everywhere, but we just feel like it doesn't account for like the universe. I guess it just doesn't, like, the universe would never have a physical manifestation and then an internal spiritual manifestation, like a feminine and a just no, no. Okay, let me keep going. The body moves mind. If you stub your physical toe on a solid wooden door, it instantly creates a purely mental experience of agonizing pain. How does a mechanical chemical signal in a nerve transform into the subjective feeling of hurting? If the mind and body are completely separate, which they're not, their seamless interaction seems impossible. They're not separate. Like, such a thing. Like, why are we trying to? So, okay, I'm gonna just stop there because I'm sick of this, people. I'm sick of. Okay, wait, let me finish. So, here are the main theories and solutions that are on paper, and then I will expand upon them. Philosophers have generally split into a few camps trying to solve this. There are 3 camps. The first camp is dualism, which is dual, means two things, made famous by Rene Descartes. This theory argues that the mind and body are fundamentally separate, and the body is a physical machine and the mind is a immaterial soul or ghost controlling it. The flaw is it struggles to explain exactly how they interact. Descartes is close. Descartes is close, and that's close. The next theory is materialism or physicalism, one thing, matter. The dominant view in modern science, which is nuts. It argues that only the physical world exists. Here we go. And this is the dominant view. That only the physical world exists. Okay. The mind is not a separate ghost. It is simply what the brain does. Consciousness is an emergent property of billions of neurons firing together, just like wetness is an emergent property of millions of water molecules sticking together. That don't even consciousness. Y'all think consciousness, the fact that we can talk to, that some of us can talk to animals, the fact that, okay, I feel like more relatable examples, like when moms always know when their kids are hurt, or like they just run back, or like you get messages from people who just went into the spirit realm, who just passed away, or like just all this stuff of like people connecting on a non-physical plane. That is just that those people are crazy. I forgot. They're hallucinating. They're just their brain, their material brain is just making stuff up. They just happen to know what happened to their child exactly without ever knowing, and no one ever telling them, because they possess some sort of a strange psychic powers that only moms possess. But when men do it, that just doesn't count either. It's just like, y'all make this world makes me want to pull my hair out, and I love my hair, so I'm not gonna pull it out, but like. Okay, and then the third prevailing theory is idealism, which is one thing, the mind. The opposite of materialism, it argues that the physical world is actually an illusion and reality is fundamentally made of consciousness or thoughts. Kind of, but not yet. Nope, this is a real experience. We're all having it. All right, so that was hard to read. All right, so that is what the mind-body problem is that they don't understand how the mind makes the body do things. And I here, I'll pull out my very ugly whiteboard again, because I'm gonna pull it out. I don't know how many. So humans and all life forms exist in 2 planes, dualism, right? All at the same time. They have their physical bodies, which is their external bodies, which is their masculine body, and then they have the internal body, which is the spirit body, which is their feminine body. And it is connected through your nervous system, your spinal cord, your nerves, right? They're like, oh, how can you stub your toe and feel pain? And why you experience pain? Because your physical body experiences the sensation, and it goes through the nervous system, and the nervous system is connected to your spirit body, which is why your emotions, narcissists, right? They can control you whenever you are in a emotionally erratic state, an emotionally unstable state, an emotionally unsure footing state. Like, when you are emotionally insecure, you are most easily controlled. You are most vulnerable to being preyed upon. because that is your spirit is talks through your emotions. Like if you are spiritually unwell, like insecure, like disconnected from your spirit, then you are more susceptible to being taken advantage of by an energetic vampire, because that is your spirit is connected to your physical through your nervous system. This is the part I feel like they're missing. And then also always talking about the mind, like I said, the mind as a consciousness, but you have an entire spirit body. And not only is your spirit body created of it is energy that is densified into your physical, but it is also you have also a part of it is, I'm gonna say that is not dense. So you still have this electromagnetic field, right? That is still your energy. That's how you can feel when people are watching you, like that their third eye, that your feelings, that hair stands up on the back of your head, like when things are weird or strange, is like your energy goes further than just your physical body. The boundaries of your body are just like, that's your physical body, but it has there's so much more to your energetic body than what meets the eye. And so, yeah, it says for dualism, it says that they're fundamentally separate. And that's the part I disagree with. They are fundamentally like one and the same. And so that's another thing, always wondering how, and there's like a physics experiment where they there were two atoms or ions or something like that, and they were very, very, very far apart, but they knew they were connected somehow, because whenever they would change one thing, like the other would change as well. And it is because they are fundamentally connected. It says they're fundamentally separate. They are fundamentally connected. Like when I say fundamentally, I mean, it's like what it's literally, I would say it's a coin. You are a coin. You have a front and you have a back. So if you take the front of your coin and you flip it upside down at the exact same time, the back of your coin will flip right side up. It's just like that. If you see the front of this board, this is the external. And if I flip it, then guess what? Now you see the internal, but the external flipped at the exact same time. They are irrevocably connected, unless your physical body dies, and then of course you become nothing but an energetic body without a physical body in this dense reality. And so another way you can look at this, right, is as above so below, right? Come with me. And the earth is here, and maybe I could put in a clip or something of better explaining this. But there's heaven, and then there's hell, and then there's the earth is in the middle. But this is also representative of your consciousness, your individual energetic consciousness. If you are in low vibrational states, low emotional states, you will experience hell. You will experience terribleness. You will experience people always hurting you, narcissism to yourself. You will hate yourself. I'm ugly. I'm fat. I'm stupid. I'm incapable. I'm not worthy. All that crap. All those terribly awful self-limiting beliefs, that is living in hell. You can get to a neutral point where it's just I don't think I'm great, but I don't think I'm awful either. And then you can reach heaven, which is when you finally love yourself. You believe you are God. You believe you are a representation of God. You believe that God came down as a particle and then manifested as you. And so you have everything that God has inside of you, and you believe that you create the reality that you live in. That's heaven. That's how you reach heaven. And then also, this is also such an important point, because I think another way you can look at it is there's a fundamental, I want to say breaking point almost in science. And it is it's the boiling point is a good one. The moment water goes from not boiling to boiling, it's just being a human on earth is you are this bridge right between two realities. And so you have the choice to raise your consciousness higher and love yourself. Love is the frequency of love is up here, and joy and happiness, or you have the choice to believe that everything sucks and everything's always going to suck, and you have no control over your life, and then you will descend into hell. And that is that. And another the freezing point, or a really good one is whenever water is super duper extra cold and is below freezing, but no one's touched it yet, and then you touch it and it go and it all freezes. It's that is what we are as humans. We are this perfect middle ground between spirit and something much more dense and awful than spirit. And it's our choice to we have to navigate and walk this plane. Also, again, highly recommending this book, The Signs, by Tara Swart, who is a neuroscientist, Oxford University trained medical doctor, and senior advisor for neuroscience and leadership at MIT. She also talks about the mind-body problem, and she's a neuroscientist, so she's in the mind. It's just that the fact that they keep calling it the mind-body problem instead of the spirit, it's not even like I said, there is no problem. It is you have an energetic body. It is just invisible to the human eye, but it's not invisible to Like, and the fact that people think that there are things that don't exist that you can't see, it's just like, we know that dogs can smell things we can't smell. We know that like certain animals use echolocation, so they can hear things we can't hear. So certain like no, bats also use echolocation, but certain animals can see in like infrared. They can see like different things that we can't see. There are levels. There are just all these things in the world that are happening all the time that the human body cannot see on its own without, sort of tools or training or specialized something. But we know that well, we know that ghosts, like, I don't even want to call them ghosts. They're just energetic bodies without the dense physical bodies that we have. We know that ghosts, right? And I'll tag my video because I'll never forget this. It's just like ghosts, or spirits, people that are in spirit, they can manipulate lights, they can manipulate currents, like electric currents, they can manipulate sound, they can manipulate like air, like they can make wind blow, things that are not dense, like least dense, less dense entities, because energetic bodies are just less dense entities. They can interact with less dense entities, but they can't, pick up my phone. They can't, touch my microphone and throw it across the room. But they can't. But we as humans, I can't grab light. I can't grab an electric current. I can't, I can blow, but like I can't like just make the wind blow with my mind and my eyeballs. But that's because I am not at that density. I'm not at that frequency of life. It's like humans think that there is there's nothing else beyond what meets these two physical eyeballs. And I'm like, that's crazy. And I was reading this book, and she was describing how she woke up one day and she saw her late husband like beside her, and she said she literally said, I could feel he was putting in a lot of great effort to materialize beside her. And I was just like, that is because when you are in spirit, when you are an energetic body, it is difficult you have to put in a lot of energy to make your body dense again, in order to be seen and felt in this by denser beings, by dense humans. But you can do things to mess with the energies around you because you are an energetic being, and that is much easier. I was like, she could feel how hard he was trying, because it takes a great amount of effort to densify energy. Like the womb, the one that our babies come in, that is such a powerful instrument, because it is where the densification of energy happens in order to manifest into the physical being that is our temporary physical masculine bodies. Masculine not meaning we are male bodies, but masculine meaning this is our external body that we see, which is the other side of our coin of our internal body, which is our spirit energetic body. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just disappointed with the world, with science. Like, I feel like we have all the clues, I guess, are there. Like near-death experiences is something else she talks about a lot in this book, and they are just a beautiful representation of the science, right? Okay. Because another thing that they ask is like, how do they interact? So this is my working theory, but I just feel like it just, not to say it can't be wrong, but like makes sense to me. I know for a fact that during NDEs, the people, they like, their soul, their energetic body is released from their physical body when their heart stops, and your heart has like this big old electromagnetic magnet. It has a big electromagnetic field. And so it is my theory that since in like that experience of leaving your body typically happens when your heart stops, that your heart is, and it makes sense because the love frequency, the frequency of love, the heart chakra is a very important one in the spirit realm. It's like, it is where that flip over happens of like, I'm rising from the lower chakras to, I'm now going into the higher chakras, where you start working from a place of love. That's why they always talk about Christ consciousness and Jesus and love, because when you move in that frequency of love, your life literally changes. You literally go from, the world is on top of me, the world is controlling me, I have no power, to I love myself, I love the God inside of me, and now I can push that love out into the world, onto other people. And so when your heart stops, your physical body representation of love stops, then your soul body is released back into its energetic state. And the same thing with same thing with your mind. Your mind also has a lot of electricity, a lot of electromagnetic stuff happening there. And so she also talks about how whenever you have like old people who have like really late stage Alzheimer's, but right before they die, a few days before they die, they'll become very lucid. And that's because when your brain, like the energy, the magnets in your brain, the electromagnetic impulses in your brain, when they die, they are no longer holding on to, like, your energetic body is no longer connected to your physical brain, because the brain the brain magnets that keep your soul in your mind, they die. And so they become lucid because they are now just their energetic body. Their energetic body is now controlling their mind. It's not their mind controlling their energetic body. Well, it's like, again, it's always at the same time, but your physical mind will manifest through your physical. And so once the physical brain is no longer working, you just have your spirit. Your spirit is working. And so that's why they're lucid, because they're not using their physical body anymore. There's just spirit. It's just their energetic brain taking over their body and talking through to their humans through their physical vessel, which I absolutely 100% experience. And I know this is, once you start talking about, oh, I did this drug, the narcissistic government is going to tell you, oh, she's crazy. But I experienced this 100% when I was during my ayahuasca journey, and I can tag that video. But there were points, so like all psychedelics, to what I believe is all psychedelics are a way to turn off essentially your physical body and have access to just your energetic body. And so when I was under the influence of ayahuasca, when I was working with ayahuasca as a medicine, at one point when I took a really big dose, it literally flipped me and my spirit body like inside out. And so she had complete control of my body, and I was completely in the spirit. My consciousness was in the spirit realm, but I was still aware of, which is again, you're both at the same time. So I was still aware of what was happening with my physical body, and I could still hear what my spirit, my higher self, was thinking. I mean, first of all, she was unhappy when I took that big dose, and so the big dose, like again, it flipped us. So my spirit body had control of my physical, and my lower self, my lower body mind was in the spirit realm. My physical body, my higher self, she was upset because she was like, I could literally just hear her like saying like, I don't like being in the physical. I don't like she kept saying like, I hate human eyes. Like I would open my eyes and she was like, I hate human eyes. Like it was like any movements my bodies were doing were because of her. She was not happy. And then I was in the spirit realm, and it was very overwhelming to be a human in the spirit realm. Very overwhelming. It was just like, our brains are not made to do that in that capacity. And so where was I going with this? Yeah. So she was talking about in this book that people who have late stage Alzheimer's and dementia, they have this clairvoyance, like they become lucid, they become themselves. And that is because their brain magnets have died and their spirit body has taken over. And that's what I was saying. I experienced when my spirit body takes over my physical body. And it's just interesting. It's just like, and they were asking, they can't understand how your mind or your thoughts can control your physical body. And it's like, I guess that is hard to explain, but it happens. It happens. Because your energetic body they are physical particles that we just cannot see, but they work. They work like this. Like they're not separate. They are the same. They are together. They're literally two sides of the same coin. And I just really want people to understand that is how the energetic body works. And we need to start calling it the energetic body, not the conscious mind. Like it is, because your energetic body is a part of the collective consciousness. The collective consciousness is essentially like one big energetic body that all of our energetic bodies are connected to. If you want to imagine it like a cord that we're all connected to, so that we can all tap into the collective consciousness. And that's how they said, oh, we can't read other people's minds. Like, no, what do you think like psychics do? Like that's like, I say psychics is like, we all have the power and the ability to do it. We just have to train ourselves. Like I talk about my animal communication. I'm not the best at it by any means, but once I realized someone else could do it, and they said, oh, they took a course and basically they learned how to do it. I started working with animals. I started training myself to like to Dr. Doolittle into their minds. And boom, once after a while, you do start hearing words back. You start hearing them come back. And sometimes it comes in a weird old man smoker voice. Like when I was talking to this one dog, it was just like, ooh, he sounded weird. But then other times when I was talking to a snake, he was a male snake, but he kind of had a weird of a different voice too. But sometimes whenever you talk to different animals, their voice will come out in your voice and you think you're just talking to yourself, but no, it is the actual animal's voice. And I think a great example of this is whenever a person gets like an animal and they name it something, like they name it, I don't know, like Captain Hook or something like that. And then the dog like acts like a pirate, kind of, sort of, in like a dog way. Everyone's just like, oh yeah, I just named him Captain Hook, and then haha, he ended up being like a pirate. It's just like, no, when you were thinking, what should I name you? The animal will send energetic imprints into your mind to say, my name is, and so you'll think that you made up the name, but actually the animal knew their name because they have a soul body. This is their incarnation in the physical. During this time, they came here likely to be a companion to you, and they're here to help you through things. And that is how animals and plants, they speak. They speak through energies, and those energies manifest into thoughts into your mind. Because thoughts are nothing but energies compilated into a specific pattern that interacts with your mind, your spirit body. Yeah, so that's how you can talk to animals. That's how people can see into the future and the past, because all of that consciousness is just one collection of everything all at once. That movie is like consciousness is all timelines, all energy bodies, all everything is, and then that is God, and then God comes, like, breaks apart into little different pieces and then manifests into the physical in this realm, and it also manifests into higher level energy bodies in higher dimensions. And then also, or you can also just go back into collective consciousness, if you will. But that's then you don't have experiences, then you just are, which is like why they say, like, the goal when you're going to be a Buddhist in a Buddhist meditation camp is to just be, like, just to learn the existence of just being, because the energy of the feminine energy or energetic body is the energy of being, because that is consciousness. Consciousness just is. And then the energy of doing, the masculine, is the energy of execution, is the masculine energy. That's why we have a physical body to do, to experience, to see. But you can't get too pulled into the physical, because we are teetering we have this balance at all times. Like, we are this little point, and so you cannot get sucked into just doing external, masculine, because you will lose your mind, right? Your spirit will be unhappy, because your spirit is the essence of being. Your spirit is just are. It's the eternal existence of all. And so you have to be comfortable with rest. You have to be comfortable with just existing. You have to be comfortable with, if I'm not doing, if I'm not executing, if I'm not creating, if I'm not doing anything, if I'm just existing, am I happy? You have to get comfortable with just being happy, just existing, just being, just literally just being, because then you are in your feminine energy, you are in your spirit. But everyone has feminine energy because everyone has a spirit body. And so your spirit body needs to be fed by just being, just existing, without any, like, and then your nervous system, again, is connected to your spirit body. So you have to learn how to calm your nervous system. And which is why, going back to, like, the core of my content, these narcissistic entities, be it the government, be it your husband, be it your boyfriend, be it your sister, your mother, be it your friend, like, whomever is in your life that is causing you to be emotionally unwell, they are fudging with your nervous system, and thus fudging with your spirit body, your energetic body. And that is where depression comes from. That is where anxiety comes from. That is where sadness comes from. That is when your nervous system is always like this, and you're not just being. You can never just be, because every time you try to sit down and be, you start, oh, I need to do this, oh, I need to do that, this is happening, oh, this is like, that is all that anxiety, all that, or like, oh, my life sucks, or oh, everything sucks, or like, oh, I hate everything, or like, all that energy, all of that energy is sucking from your spirit body. Your spirit body, your energetic body is sucking from your spirit body all the time, at every given second, and it's never just existing. You need to learn how to just exist, how to just be. And that's why meditation is so important. You need to be in periods of your life where you are just, nothing matters but my existence, nothing matters but my breath. Like, and when you get there, you become a whole different person. Don't let anyone take your peace. They want to take your peace, because when you are in a place of emotional unrest, you are easily controlled. When you are in a place of, I feel vulnerable, I don't feel secure, I don't feel connected, I don't feel rooted, you will be shaken, you will be moved, you will be pushed, you will be swayed. You need to be solid in who you are, solid in your existence, solid in just being, and being content with that, and being happy with that, and that will feed your soul. You'll learn so much about yourself, you'll become a different person, and the world could be falling around you, and you will be still. You will be cool, calm, and collected, and a cucumber. And it's just like, and you'll understand, okay, if the world is ending and it's my time to go, then it's my time to go. Like, you become okay with the things that you cannot control, because you cannot control everything. There's no person on this earth who can control anything. But the one thing you can control is yourself. You can control how you react to the outside world. You don't have to panic whenever things are going wrong. You don't have to, you can cry if crying is a good release. But you don't have to continuously cry. You don't have to continuously be sad. You don't have to continuously be depressed. You don't have to continuously feel out of control. You don't have to continuously feel like life is the worst life in the whole. You can choose not to. You can choose to say, well, it is what it is. I'm losing my house. Oh, well. Getting evicted. Oh, well. Lost my job? Well, can't figure it. I'll figure it out. Gotta believe that the universe will provide. And I know that's a hard thing to say, but as someone who has been unemployed for October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, 9 months now, 9 months, no job, you guys. And somehow, some way, I'm not homeless. Somehow, some way, I'm still making my YouTube videos, which is something I enjoy doing. Somehow, some way, it's just like I'm coming up on my 1 year anniversary of not working, of being my own boss, is what I'm gonna say, because I do stuff. I do figure out ways to make money. I do have income, but it's just like every time I feel like, oh, this is not going to work out, or what am I going to do? Something else just lands in my lap. Something else, an opportunity comes that I'm just like, nah, that is a good opportunity for me, and then I get it, and then it works out. So I know that sounds crazy, but you gotta believe in the universe, and not, but it's like it's not. You have to believe in the universe, but also understand, like, you got to know when to be and you got to know when to do. It's not just going to be like that thousands of dollars will magically show up in your bank account, but it will be that opportunities for money that are aligned with your mission and your desires. They will come to you and you will notice them and you will capture them and you will excel at them because they are in line with your mission and your purpose on this God's green earth, Mother God's green earth, because the feminine body is the spirit body. So anyways, I don't know if that was a perfect explanation of the mind body, like of why the mind body problem is not a mind body problem. It's actually a spirit body, physical body problem. And it's not a problem. It's I don't know. It's like, duh. Like, I don't know. I feel like I understand it so well that it's so common sense to me. And just every time people talk about it in any other way than the common sense way that I feel like I see it, it's just like, what are y'all, like, what are you doing? What are you looking at? Why are you, like, the crazy part of, like, material comes first and the mind doesn't exist. I'm like, what the, and that's the predominating theory in science. I'm just like, so it's just you literally have to ignore basically all evidence of spirituality, of spirit world, of things that are unseen. You have to literally ignore all of that to come to the conclusion that only this physical realm exists. That is crazy. All right. Well, I hope this helped somebody. If you have questions, if I didn't explain things very well, which I feel like I didn't, please do put it in the comment section and I'll try to answer them there, or maybe I'll do a part 2 or something. But yeah, the long story short is we have an energy body and a physical body. They are two sides of the same coin. They work simultaneously because they're the same thing. They're just the front side and the back side, an in and out, up and a down, and they're eternally connected until your physical body dies, and then you're just an energetic body, which will then go through its own process until it manifests down into the physical again. I hope that is helpful. Yeah, and someone send this to Tara Swart, because she's close. You're close, Tara. I mean, Dr. Swart. Put some respect on your name. And I did watch your video. She also has a video on YouTube for Diary of a CEO. I also watched that episode, a great episode. I can try to put that in the description box. And so yeah, because I do love what she's talking about the signs in this book. She's on the nose. She is connected to her spirit body, and she knows the spirit realm exists. She just doesn't. She's just so in the science realm that it's hard to zoom out and look at the big picture of all things that are, of all things that all. And so I think she would appreciate this. And I know she believes in signs and things. So I've read this, and I'm going to say, Robin, I'm going to ask her husband, Robin, hey, Robin, if you believe I am correct, please do send this to Tara Swart and put it across her desk and have her watch this and have her, message me, send me a DM, Tara, if you see this, because I do love you. And I think you're so smart, and I want to help everyone. And you've got the right idea. So love you, girl. Keep doing what you're doing. Spread the word that the spirit world exists, and we need to stop ignoring it and pretending like it doesn't exist, because it's harmful and hurtful to all of us. All right, that is all. If you like today's episode and you want to support in any kind of way, you can always join my members only. I have Woke and Woke AF. Woke AF, you get access to my vlogs where I will talk to you about more personal things and things that I just, don't want to give away to the world. Or you can go to brispeaks.co and you can buy one of my Bri Speaks mugs, which has the 7 narcissistic social hierarchies of control on it and explains how each of those tiers show up in our lives. And always remember that these are an illusion. These social hierarchies, these narcissistic tiers that are created to control our minds are a hierarchy, and they are trying to control our spirits, our spirit bodies. Listen, the billionaires know. The billionaires know everything I'm saying. All of them got their own sidekicks in their house because they know, they believe. All of them have energy readers. All of them look at the zodiacs. They all know that is real. Egyptology is an entire science that was created to control the dissemination of information that came out of Egypt, because Egypt knew everything. They knew everything about the stars, the planets, and energies, and how they work together, magnets, electricity. Like, y'all think they made those pyramids just for shits and giggles? Like, okay. So if you want to support and help get this message out to the collective, BriSpeaks.co, or you can always just send a donation on Cash App at Bri Speaks 2, the number 2 on Cash App. And that's all for today. Never forget, the God in me loves the God in you. And always, 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 y'all, stay woke. Bye-bye.